Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? We back again, part three. More to live for. Part three of the interview. Introduce yourself to the people one more time. They didn't see the first two parts.
I'm Frankie. That's my real name, but everybody call me Franco.
The first two parts, man, was success,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
I definitely appreciate that.
Definitely.
So part three, we're gonna do things a little different. We actually have questions from an active inmate to a former inmate. So we're gonna kick it off that way with his question. These things that he wants to know. So yeah, the first question that our mutual friend Rashad, shout out to Rashad, free Rashad, to be home soon. So shout out to him. But these questions are for him, so somebody that we actually know. And the first question that he asked is, do you keep in touch with any former inmates that you did you bid with?
I mean, it's only a few that I deal with as far as like being out here now and still deal with them. Yeah, like there's most of them that you like tell that you're gonna see when you get home and stuff like that. When you get out here, you realize that it's a lot more fast paced than what it is in prison.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? When you in prison, man, it's kind of like you got enough time to think about how much this person could do for you or that person could do, or just a letter a day. It be people out here writing letters and got it sitting on the counter for weeks because they moving so fast trying to keep stuff organized. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot more fast paced than we realize because we incarcerated, because we thinking about what's going on out there so much. You get what I'm saying? But as far as like the ones that I said I would keep up with, but man, when you in prison, you meet like hundreds of dudes that y'all exchange addresses. I got a whole notebook though, but don't get me wrong, I keep until this day. And when a dude is mentioned that we knew from prison, like my homeboys that's out here now with me, we still out here in these streets, even though we did a bid. You get what I'm saying? Even though we still have our little, everybody go through stuff, but at the same time, we still free. We still able to link up, holler at each other, pull up each other's spot, build, still talk about, bro, when last time you heard from Righteous, or when last time you heard from such and such, because we gods. So we talk about other God bodies that we was around in there. I didn't really deal in blood and crip, but I had a lot of niggas from my city that was that. So of course these still my niggas. And being God body, you know and understand that whoever you for, that's who you with. Because you feel like that's a part of you, because it's different when it's a stranger from your city and a person you know from your city. You get what I'm saying? So it's like being God. It kind of was putting me in situations where I still was riding with my blood home front from Greenville, or my crip home fronts from Greenville. You get what I'm saying? Because these my niggas, outside of them being what they are and me being what I am at the same time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But definitely, I definitely keep up with my niggas that I came home and we all out here. Like I done built with brothers that then came home and still doing the same thing they was doing when they put them in there for all them years, and doing it better. You know what I'm saying? Because you learn from your mistakes. Some people learn, some don't. So it's on you. If you come home and see a brother that you think about, and then you hit him up, and he actually out here, and he like, yo, hold on, bro, I gotta call this nigga. Let me make this. Hold on, bro, I gotta do this. Let me call y'all boys right back. Y'all niggas better call. You know what I mean? That let you know this nigga doing good. He ain't really out here bullshitting, hurting like, yo, can I get this or can I get that? Because you realize when you come home, you ain't think about none of that. Nobody who didn't hit you up when you was in there, bro. That's you not. Because it's gonna be going so fast when you come out here, bro. It's kind of like when you watch your treadmill take off and then you stand on the ground, then you jump on it. That's how it is when you come home from prison, bro. It ain't like you gonna get up there and make your pace. It's rolling out here. It's rolling, and you only got a short lifespan. So when you get out, you ain't focused on that no more, man. You focus on the future. So you pushing when you come out here. Of course, you want to interact. Of course, they still gonna cross your mind, but at the same time, you still got a lot of obligations that you make when you come out here. And that's as far as like when you then dealt with a female all these years while you was in prison, right? And you this and the third. When you come home, of course you're gonna be attracted to her and y'all gonna be together. But who knows if that's gonna last, because everybody different. But at the same time, you gonna be ready to see a female. You're going to be ready to see a female when you come home. But yeah, bro.
Great answer. Great answer. The next question from the humble shy, you want to know, have you ever been to the hole? We spoke on it last time. I don't know if that was your first time or the only time, but if you could speak on times that you went to the hole.
The longest I've been in the hole was like when they had like a suite at Pope. I think this was like 06, 07, and they picked everybody up that was a part of any type of like I ain't gonna say organization, but any nation, bro. Like if you was a part of anything, like this was when I was in school, and it wasn't even for my GED. This was when I was in school for my college courses. Because that Pope got every educational thing you need while you there, and then you still young. So you like, when I get to go spread, I already done this shit that they got there, because you've been there. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, bro, like I just had my shit like kind of like on a path like to do right when I got there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what was the question, bro? Like I told you, I've been drinking. You know,
good, man.
What was the question?
Have you ever been to the hole?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like speaking on as far as like being to the hole, like yeah, like the first time I went was like when they had a little suite at Pope,
right?
And like they was picking up everybody that had any type of gang affiliation,
right?
Like whether you were Blood or Crip, and a war popped off on the yard, and like it was a whole lot of like different stuff going on at the time when the riot. It was kind of like a riot, bro.
So then, like everybody,
everybody,
said,
if you had any type of, when they come in your room and they search and they realize you a part of this, oh, you God body. Hey, Pat, put your hands behind your back. You know what I mean? Right. They locked us up too, even though we wasn't in the hole as long as some, because we wasn't a part of what happened. But at the same time, they had to lock all STGs, and being God body, it's certain things they feel like we believe in that is gang affiliated or is gang related, because we got dialect. Like we got a certain way we talk. Like we could talk in just our supreme alphabet, and people won't know what we talking about. Stuff like that. Them people don't want to. They ain't trying to hear nothing like that. That sounds like you trying to be sneaky around them or something. You know what I mean? So that's STG. That's a security threat group. So at the same time, we got to focus on like trying to keep our shit, but at the same time not have our shit where they can find it. And they found shit from everybody, because you gonna have knowledge of what you're a part of. You know what I'm saying? So that STG'd us, and I went to the hole just off of the strength that everybody that was STG had to go to the hole, and they just took off. They took up damn near the school building too, because they realized that some of the people that they were putting in the hole really weren't supposed to go to the hole, because you wasn't a part of the war or what was going on with them boys on the yard. But at the same time, all security threat groups. It's Mexicans that don't bother nobody, sit down they bunk all day. They went to the hole with us. That's how you. In a way, you know you're getting punished, but at the same time, you know that you gonna get out, because you know it won't you that they were really after. You get what I'm saying?
So, like you said, some were. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
like you said, some people were in there longer than others. So, like, can you describe like that process of like sitting in there? I know it's like way different than your average cell.
The longest I stayed in the hole was probably like 3 months, and the last longest time I stayed was like 45 days before I came home from prison. Right at the end of my bed, I caught a dirty urine, because I felt like I was relaxed. I had so much game time. I could have did any charge. I already had 8 charges when I was in prison. I could have did any charge, and they still wouldn't have been able to take that I was getting out on my minimum. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's kind of like it didn't matter. So even though I laid it down in the hole, I still kind of like did push-ups and shit like that to get the focus on getting ready for leaving. But some shit that most motherfuckers really don't know is that I mostly wrote raps the whole time I'm back there. I wrote raps in the hole, like even Rashad, like how you was building on Rashad. Me and Rashad grew up in like middle school. I think that's my nigga. Me and Rashad was like one of the first niggas battling each other as far as rapping each other. Me, him, and this nigga named like Derek Davis or some shit like that. Derek, my nigga. And we used to just each us or go home at night, be like, bro, I'm gonna write a rhyme on your ass tomorrow, nigga. I bet my shit be hard. I'm like, I got your ass, nigga. You know what I mean? And me and bro go to the crib and we all spit fire the next day, cause everybody saying something different. but we still rap. You know what I mean? And that's what started me on rapping. And when I went to prison, like as soon as I got in jail, I started writing rhymes just to get my mind off of it. And then you writing about stuff you done been through in the streets. So it's like a lot of stuff that you going through in the streets, a lot of niggas ain't never been through in there. So it's on your mind, man. So write it down. You know what I mean? Write that shit down, man. And like it's a lot of shit I went through when I was young, man. Before, man, I think I did more like busting guns and wilding out here more than like really fucking little females out here. You know what I mean? Off the strength that's how wild it was before I went to prison. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you get in there, you're gonna think about the stuff you did or the stuff you went through or how this could have panned out. And I used to just write rhymes, bro. You know what I mean? Like just rap, bro. That's it. That's what kept my mind in. Or I might write letters. You know what I mean? I might write letters, but mostly I wrote rhymes. Like my whole bid, like that's probably something that kept me out of the way a lot too. Like when niggas see that you fall back, even though if something get like if a situation comes, you gonna handle you as your man as yourself, but at the same time you fall back from everything. Like you kind of in the cut every day, like writing rhymes, tapping on your bump for you. Because I used to do my own beat, write rhymes down, do that shit all day, and then niggas would be finally like, man, let me hear that shit you been rapping all week, nigga. I finally drop it for them. They be like, yo, this nigga is fucking ridiculous. So because they don't know what I'm thinking over here. It's just I just stayed to myself on it in the hole too. And in the hole, you get like an hour out when they put you on. Like I went to long term. Like I never went to like H-Con, M-Con, I-Con. I never went to those. That's long term. That's when you do a bid in your bid. That's when you do something to catch a bid for in the streets in your bid. Okay. You get what I'm saying? So them boys get longer. But I ain't really go through that. I ain't really go through as far as like that type of long term.
Real fast. I know in other states, I've heard that like if you do something like, catch a street charge, like whatever that penalty is, like you do that time and the bid that you already doing, that stops and you do that time. So say somebody serving like 10 years and they do something else that's, they may, get convicted of, assaulting staff with a weapon or something like that, and maybe get a 3 to 5 sentence for that. They do that 3 to 5, and then go back to doing the bid that they were already in there for. Like, is that necessarily like that with North Carolina?
But let me tell you the truth, bro. If you think about it, bro, if they put your bid on pause and have you doing the rest of your bid after, and you got more time, how you gonna notice it? The only thing you noticing it is in your mind, because you realize your time that you already had probably was maybe more than that. Maybe more than what you already did in there. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But the way they box guarded, it is kind of messed up though, because it seemed like they putting your bid on pause, and like, yo, now you got to do this that you're doing in here to get in trouble, and now it start back these years later. That's kind of like, it is kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's like
it is. I didn't know they could do that.
Time. I know.
I didn't seen like, man. I didn't like I spoke on it last video. Like when Teardrop died, those boys end up doing H-Con. You get what I'm saying? Okay. H-Con is like 24/7. You don't come out of your room. The shower come to your door when you do. They push it down the hall with the hose attached to it. That's your shower. You don't leave that room none for years until you get to like M-Con, Max-Con, I-Con. You know what I'm saying? When you get down to those levels and then you get the long term and just doing like niggas doing bids, like I said, dirty urines. Like then that's when you away from what them boys at. Them boys is in where I'm talking about, bro, these cats don't come out of the room. And them boys killed, them boys actually killed, bro. Them boys actually killed, bro, and ended up having to do a bid in their bid because now they ain't on population with us. They ain't going to lunch every day in the chow hall. You get what I'm saying? They in that room, 24/7. Like it's old ass being at Pope in back there in H-Con, because that's one of the only H-Cons in North Carolina, bro. Pope is Pope Youth Spread. And it's only like I think Central might got H-Con, but it ain't a lot of H-Cons, bro. H-Con. This when you kill somebody on state or something like that. You kill an officer or you kill another inmate. They send you back there first because that's your bid. That you done killed the motherfucker. Nah, it ain't no law system. Law system can't handle you because now you within they law. Now you within the prison system law, and now they gonna bury you. So they put them boys back there where you don't touch nothing. You don't, everything come through your door. You know what I'm saying? Your shower come to your door, then your door open. You jump in the shower, take a shower, step back in your room. That's all you gonna smell for years. Some of them back there for years. Old ass men with natural life.
Man, that's the first time. That's the first time I ever heard of that shit.
Man, it's real back there.
Damn.
H-Con. What you talking about? H-Con?
No, like the mobile shower.
Oh
like
yeah, the shower.
comes.
Yeah,
That's the first
yeah.
time I heard. Damn,
That's H-Con.
crazy.
That's
crazy.
H-Con.
That's crazy.
That's H-Con, bro. And I only knew that because of me being at Pope. Pope is one of the only H-Con. So you might go to the dentist's office and they come in there with a motherfucker strapped up with a suit on. You know what I'm saying? Old ass man. You like, how the fuck you be at Pope? That's one of the only, he back there in H-Con.
Damn.
He done either killed somebody on
he
state
done killed somebody. Or
yeah.
Took off on an officer.
Yeah,
Tried
say
to
they
kill
pulled
them
a big ass blade out his ass like this long and showed it to the police at the door, and then put the motherfucker and they couldn't find it. When his ass couldn't find it, bro, a long ass blade. I said, yo, that motherfucker been doing that shit forever. He been doing it forever. Old ass man. All he did was stare at me the whole time in the dentist chair, bro. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass, bro. They got some crazy motherfuckers.
Dope answers there, and I hope somebody's getting educated by this. Like I said, we ain't glamorizing none of this, but you know, hopefully this can help keep somebody, you know, from going down, you know, a different path. And you know, they need to know what's on the other side of that wall before they get there, and it's too late. But a change of speed. But the homie also wanted to know what was your favorite prison meal, and if it's anything that you know that wasn't, you know, getting served in the kitchen, like anything that you made, like
man,
how did you make
like,
it, as far as spreads and anything like that.
Yeah, as far as like meal, I think the best meal we made was like the block as a whole. I think it was like the playoffs, Miami Heat playoffs. I forgot who's the boys was playing that year. That shit was years ago, but man, we really ate big that night. Like everybody had shit from canteen, y'all. But that's the best meal. But as far as like, you know what I mean?
Technical difficulties. We right back at it though. Next question from the homie. But as far as visits, did you get any visits?
Yeah, I mean, I got a few throughout the years, but I didn't really like start getting like constant visits every week. Was like till I got to a camp where I met a female. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I met a CO actually, and I got involved with her sister. So they was right from that town where she worked at the prison at. So that kind of was convenient for me that she put me on her sister like that. You know what I mean? That was like my girl. So I had visits every week then. But before then, like my family came in, saw me like a few times, like through the years. Like, you know what I mean? Even the chick that was with me, I think she might have visited me like once. You know what I'm saying? But
so that
wasn't
process,
really looking for
visits. That like a difficult process, like. No, you want to see him like being gone away, but at the same time, you want to see him, but it's even harder to see him leave. Like, was it a situation like that?
Yeah, like
especially with your family.
But I think the best visit I had was when my mom and my sister and like my nephew, it was like a few of my family members came for my graduation. You know?
Oh, okay.
They really did like a ceremony for that, like where you got to spend time with your family for like 2-3 hours instead of like an hour. Like your family actually walking around the, like, you know, the little chow hall or like whatever the little area we was in. They like let them introduce them to the officers that work there, and like you know, your teachers and stuff like that. So that was kind of like my best visit as far as like family wise. But I ain't really get a lot of visits because I was so far from where my family. When they finally came, they kind of like put it together, like we loading up, let's go. You know what I mean? They weren't coming out there on the regular, but they did visit me a few times through the years. You know what I mean? But I'm looking for visits.
That's a lot of people don't do it. So that's good that you got it.
I believe it.
The next question that homie wanted to know is, and I think we kind of, so far we kind of tiptoed around it, but we haven't really talked about it.
I'm gonna tell you something. My fault. I ain't mean to cut you off, but something else that kind of messed me up about visits when you come home from prison. It's hard to really get in the system to be able to go visit people in prison. Like you gotta wait like a certain amount of years before you can actually go back and see your niggas while they really fresh on your heart and fresh on your mind. Like you want to go visiting it, but you can't at a certain time when you first come home. Like they kind of get you gotta wait it out, or probably you know what I mean? That's the only thing you can do at the beginning, and that shit kind of take a lot from you too, because like you catching charges and stuff, like a whole lot of stuff going on when we out here in these streets, and that's kind of keeping you away from that because now it ain't as easy to do it as like you should have did when you first came home because now you out here in these streets and now you amongst the same stuff that you was in before you went, but maybe 10 times worse out here right now. How it is out here, bro, like it's really different. Like it ain't the same like when I grew up. And when I went to prison, like I felt like we was kind of starting that era. We was
Right.
kind of starting that really getting rowdy, but now it's
Right.
like that shit is like 10 times worse. Like
Yeah.
these young cats now it's different because they want to see what it is on the other side, but they don't realize what it is till they already there.
Right.
And when you're young, you don't got nothing to lose, bro. For real, you don't got nothing to lose. So it's a lot different when you come home. You know what I mean?
But
And
yeah,
I didn't even really come home in the era that we exactly in now.
right.
I've been home for like 10 years now. I've been home for like almost 10 years. Not
Right.
quite, but right at like the end of this year, be 10 years I've been to the crib. That's a long time to
That's
come
a blessing.
home
Yeah.
from an 8 year bid.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still out here chilling and seeing that it's 10 times worse.
Right. And when you yeah. Well
10
put.
times
Well
worse.
put.
It's real, man. For real, man. These young boys different now. Shit ain't the same.
But yeah, the next question. We kind of tiptoed around it. We ain't really you know
Yeah.
what I mean, went into it. But did you practice any religion or a different faith? During your bid,
Yeah,
and could
but
you go into that if you can?
I definitely think, I mean, as far as like being a part of a nation, I like I the first people I gravitated to was the God. You know what I'm saying? Just off of the strength of like how they carried themselves, how they built on things, like everything they taught me to learn about myself. Like the God bodies that introduced me to the nation was God bodies that really was wild, but at the same time they had knowledge of what they was learning.
Right.
So that right there only made me sharper in the image because you teach me something, but you don't know you done taught. It's like that's like having a knife that already been sharpened in itself, but at the same time, you give him this. Now he got that. So it's like he where you at, but now he teaching you. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? It's
Yeah.
kind of like I met God
Yeah.
bodies that really knew that knowledge, bro. And I was God body my whole bid. Still God body to this day. You know what I mean? Still striving, but don't deal in my lessons as much because of everyday life. But I still deal in reality. I like I don't be like out here going to church and like all that stuff. Even though I
Right.
know it ain't nothing wrong with it. It's
Right.
just some fact that I done been doing this so long. It's kind of like what I'm used to.
Right.
Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like just certain. It's like a way of life, bro. Like if that's what you choose, you kind of gonna dedicate yourself. Like I ain't never joined their game. All my family bang. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't join them because I've been that so long. I feel like I'm wrong to the nation for putting you down and joining this now
Right.
because I like this better. Nah, that ain't cool. That ain't how a nation becomes stronger. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, I was just
Right.
God body my whole bed, bro. Like
So
just
would
nation of gods and earth.
so would you say like finding a religion help you mentally, like in the beginning of your
Nah,
bid?
man, because really I didn't join the guys for like protection.
Right.
Like I joined them niggas because they saw God in me. They're like, bro, you God, bro. Look how you build every day. Like you don't even
Right.
eat pork. You don't even fuck with niggas. Like you just fall back, write your rhymes. Like bro, that's God, bro. Like niggas ain't fucking with you because they respect you, bro. Because you ain't bothering nobody. Like
Right.
even if you ain't, you know what I mean. Like some niggas just know like if a motherfucker they feel like bro you would like what we building on and I gravitated to it. I'm like yo I learned it, start reading that shit every day. I'm like yo they were like yo how you see the days math, you know what I mean? I already know what it is, so I'm like yo I'm looking at it like this. They like yo that's peace Lord, like you building nigga, that's peace. And I love that, man. I love
Right.
that how we became brothers even though we was from different cities, didn't really know each other until we became God. So it's like yo I like that. I used to wonder why they come
That's what's
sit to
up.
the table, two different niggas from two different cities. They sit down there, they eat together, talk
Right.
together, they had a Quran right here, the Bible right here. They don't really have their lessons out because that like I said, when you get caught with like alphabet, supreme mathematics, stuff like that is game knowledge because it's like it's knowledge. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So.
so we gotta kind of keep that concealed, but we still can have the Bible. We still can be writing our dialects, like, you know what I mean? We still could do stuff like that, but at the same time, you got to know that certain stuff can't be shown and certain stuff can't be seen by officers because they know it's gang related or they know it's something you don't supposed to
They're
have.
gonna use it against you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely gonna use
Yeah.
it against you,
And
though.
even though it's
But yeah, striving with the nation,
religion.
bro. That kept me strong through my beard, bro. And I rolled out my beard, being God by real shit, man. Some real man. You need some powerful gods in there holding ciphers. You know what I mean? Like,
Well put.
I mean, I can go in more into depth, but I don't know
Right.
if they want to hear about all that God body stuff. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Like, you know, it's a lot of stuff the way they talk now. Like, it came from our dialect, but people will never know that because they don't really know what God body is. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
We
and
ain't
that's all I study. Like, it's rappers that's God body, but you would
right.
never know because you listen to his raps. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of
Exactly.
but listen how smooth he talking. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to know what they're saying. Yeah, but yeah.
Good
Definitely
answer.
the nation, bro. Definitely the nation.
Good answer. Another thing, we kind of opened the door for this question without
Right.
even when you had just mentioned when we were talking about visits. Now, being that you said it was an officer's sister that you was able to kind of communicate with,
Yeah.
so
As
that's
far as visit,
yeah. Now that would be like what most consider a plus. Like next to like actually getting the officer herself, like I'm pretty sure getting the sister is like
yeah,
next on the list.
definitely,
So
yeah, definitely.
that's on the good side. Like, is there any
But
like
now, don't get me wrong. Now, it's officers in there you can get to now. You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
But
right,
this was just one of the situations that my homeboy already got the officer. So
right?
she see us together every day. She like, yo, I'm gonna put him on my sister and went from there type shit. But
Okay,
it's situations where I done had officers bagged up too, like for myself, like
right. I
can
heard
bring
that.
me everything to work. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like look out for me. You know what I mean? Let me fill in your ass, kiss on you. You know what I mean? Try to get some
right,
pussy while I'm locked up. Don't know you don't know what you're doing no more, but
right.
hey, we in here.
I heard
You like,
that.
but that's easy too. But at the same time, that's rare enough because
Right.
most of the time they try to keep you confined in prison until you find maneuvers like that. But that's
So,
love too.
so
That's love too.
what I was getting at, not trying to cut you off.
Oh, you good?
That would be on the good side. And like I said, this question's from the home.
Right.
So is there any incidents like that stand out, like as far as like I know how they were treating y'all, like really like treating you like shit, like on the average. So
Yeah,
like,
definitely,
is there any
definitely.
like situation that stand out, like as far as like the mistreatment from the officers, like anything that you can stand out that stand out to you in particular?
Man, the only things like this probably any camp you go to, man, like when other people do stuff and everybody get in trouble for it.
Right,
You know what I mean? I end up doing time in the hole, like end up being locked down, like blocks being locked down where you don't even go to lunch no more. Like they bring your lunch to the block, stuff like that off of the strength of something that somebody else is doing. If they
right,
can't get the person that's doing stuff sometimes they get everybody. And that type of shit ain't right that had to go through shit like that. But that's the type of shit you go through in that motherfucker. Like
right,
you ain't always gotta be the one to get in trouble. You ain't always gotta be the one that starts some shit for your ass to get laid down with them. Not off the strip you hang with them either. It'd be some shit like you in this block. Yo,
right,
everybody punished. You already being punished anyway because you in prison, so you ain't really got no rights. So now they can snatch that too, and ain't nothing gonna be said.
right.
You can write your family, man. It'll be years probably when the case get to somebody dead. They don't care nothing about nobody in there, bro. Real shit. That's why you got to survive as yourself in there. That's the only way you gonna make it in there.
What the homie spoke on quite a few times
Right,
was like the racism from a lot of the officers that he seen, but he said he only seen
right,
it like in certain camps, like them camps like
right.
towards the mountain on the other side of the state,
I'm gonna
stuff
keep
like
it a
that.
band, man. Like in there, some of the black officers seem like they racist too.
Right? Yeah,
Just off that
I've
power that
heard
they
that
got
too.
of being
Yeah,
a CO, man,
yeah,
they be worse than the white ones
yeah,
sometimes. Even though the white ones gonna be dickheads till you locked up and they white anyway, but at the same time, it be black motherfuckers worse than them.
yeah. Cause
My worst
they gotta
experience with
show out
officers
for them.
with black, yeah,
Yeah,
my worst experience is with black officers.
right. Yeah,
Like real shit, like go in there, beat your ass, like break motherfuckers' legs, break your arm, like
right.
shit like that, and you gonna go in the hole, and
Cause
you
they
gonna
look,
heal in the hole.
not to cut you off, but
Yeah,
a lot of that come from that mentality, especially
they got
like
that
them
authority,
working in a prison,
right?
like and having that mindset so brainwashed, they
Yeah,
scared that their coworkers are going to see them the same way they see you.
right,
You know
right,
what I mean? So they
right,
got to go in there
right,
and go super ultra aggressive You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just show out in front of their superior. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah.
Definitely.
Some brainwash stuff.
I
Yeah, that's
definitely,
messed up.
definitely went through it. Definitely seen officers going there like the Incredible Hulk, man. For real. It really hurts.
We kind of spoke on it on the last video,
Right.
but like I said, these questions from the homie that he want to know. If you could take us back to your last day, what was that like? Like I remember asking you in the last video, you know, like you was kind of telling me like the process, like you was already in a certain camp that you had stuff already set up, you know, on the outside that was already going on.
That wasn't the camp I actually went home from though. But as far as like you talking about the day before I went home.
Yeah, that's what he trying to get at. Like,
yeah,
everybody know like how that process went. I mean, if you want to touch back on that, you can. But like,
yeah,
that's what he was asking more towards like that last day.
like my last day was like a relief, man. But I can remember the process of like basically that last week, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because before I was about to go home, I ended up getting a dirty urine at the end of my period.
Right.
So I had to do 45 days before it was time for me to get home. And by the time I would have did the 45, by the time I did the 45 days, I had like maybe 3-4 days left before the time for me to go to the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I got out and got on the yard, and I was at East.
Right. I remember you said that Eastern. Yeah.
I was at Eastern, and they dropped me on the yard for like a few days. Within that few days, I met almost every home front I had in Green. Like everybody from Greenville at that camp. That few days that I was there, I mean that I was back there in the hole for like weeks, but they knew I was on the camp the whole time. As soon as I hit the yard, everybody like, "It's good, G, you about to go home and all that," because I've been gone so long.
Right.
And I'm right here in my last week meeting everybody from Greenville that's doing big. They got 10 years, like, bro, been down this amount of years. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, boy, I'm about to go, man. A few days. Met one of my homeboys that I grew up with. Left him. I had like from the streets watch, like, you know, a little short. Like I told you, the camp I was on where I had a watch that wasn't from no camp. I gave that to bro. Gave bro my sneakers, like New Balances. Gave them them. Gave him all my hygiene, everything. I'm like, bro, I love you. We're going to keep in touch, this, that, and the third. But bro out here now, too. You probably know him, Sheik Luke, and Antoine. Sheik Luke. Yeah. I gave bro, I was like, bro, that's you, man. I'm going to miss you. You know what I mean, my nigga? Right. That's my nigga. That's a good dude. Right. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to call that back. But yeah, bro, but yeah, definitely, like, within that, like, I think, like, that first week, like, I don't know, man. It's like I was just enjoying myself, like before I came home. You know what I mean? Just like every day, the boys out there, like this a camp that I ain't never been on, bro. They heard I could rap. You know what I mean? So I'm at Eastern. I've been here like a few weeks, but hit the yard a date, and everybody like, yo, I heard you hard. We already got a nigga cross the yard, think he the hardest thing here. I give it to him before I go home. I heard that. Every boy I got, just because my niggas going crazy every day. Come on, hey, let's go. You already know, young. Let's do it. Let's go get this nigga over here. I'm eating every day. Because that's why I did my whole day. I rap. You know what I mean? So still. And then being, you know, like, and then like I guess, you know, it made it that much better. You know, you were about to go home. But but it kept my mind. Seeing a lot of people from where you from. So. But they didn't even really give me time to get adjusted to that camp because I kind of liked it being around them, but it was kind of hard because I was about to go. Right. And now, just now seeing y'all boys, I ain't seen them in years. You know what I mean? Yeah, all this time. Kind of crazy, like kind of fucked up. But I mean, that shit was definitely how I came home. Like I got to see some of my niggas, really my niggas. You know what I mean? That's what's up. Man. Yeah, definitely. I think we're gonna wrap it up right here, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. Anybody you want to shout out on the inside or the outside, man? Anybody you want to shout out? Know, like Rashad, man. Be glad when you get out here, G. You know what I mean? That's one of the first niggas that really. I hope he in there writing. Really, I mean, I know he in there doing his thing, but I hope you writing. You know what I mean? Like my nigga Anquan, man. That's my nigga, man. Hate that he doing his bid too, but Rat, you know what I mean? You my nigga, bro. Love you, bro. You know what I mean? It's Meat, my nigga Meat. Yo, love you, bro. Love you, little nigga. And like, it's just a few of my niggas back there, bro. Like, I mean, I love y'all niggas. For real, bro. Be glad when all y'all touch. So I know y'all niggas gonna touch. When all y'all niggas touch.
Definitely shout out to the homie Shy, also known as Chosen. Yeah, man, and we gonna keep rocking, man. Like I said, it's to educate the youth, man. And, we north of the river, so just people a lot of people around our way got different stories. So this is an open invitation. Anybody that I went to school with, even if I didn't go to school with you, man, if you want to tell your experiences to help somebody else, man, this is a platform for anything dealing with North Carolina Department of Correction, and just to be clear, this whole lane on this channel is dedicated to the homie shop. But when he come home, he taking off with this, and I'm focusing on what I know. But at the same time, I do know that I want to raise awareness about a lot of things and educate people on certain things. So this is just one of the things, that can help somebody save somebody's life. So until he get here to do it, I'm gonna be doing it for him. Straight like that. But hey, man, I definitely appreciate you, man. More to live for, man.
Definitely, G.
More to live for, man.
Definitely.
Rest in peace to the bad guy.
Already.